Well, good morning, everybody. Hello. Happy Friday. Yay. We made it through the week. Hey, it's Becky from Power Tools with Thread. You are in our Stitchuation room. This is a Monday through Friday virtual stitching retreat, 8 a.m. Central, bright and early, where you hang out with me in my sewing room. And I hope I can inspire you to put something under the needle or scan and cut or embroider or something, right? Look who's here. On cue. There she is. My cute little girl. Hello, Frito. Good morning. You going to stretch? Oh, were you sleeping over there by the door? Yeah, you were. You want your Dave biscuits? Here you go, baby. Good girl. Yeah, that's my girl. Awesome. Hello. Oh, my goodness, you guys. Everybody's hashtag power tooling already. There you go. That's a girl. Yeah. Oh, sweet baby. She's not too sure about that new pool, y'all. Let me get your stick so you can, oh, look at that little wiggle butt. Oh my goodness. Here, go brush your teeth. All right. Bye-bye. You got it? See you later. She's going through her Frito door. Stepping right through. Such a good girl. How you guys doing? Look at everybody here in the chat. Oh my gosh. Yes, it is Giveaway Friday. And you can enter the giveaway on the live stream. You can't do it after the fact in the comments down below. But if you're here for the live stream, go ahead and put in a hashtag, which is the little pound sign above the 3 on your keyboard. If you have a standard keyboard. Yes, I got in my pool. Yes, I did. Okay, I'll show you guys a video of it in a second. And hashtag power tools, plural, like power tools with thread, but just hashtag power tools, all one word. US shipping only, please. I have a little mini roll of strips for you guys. This is called Fright Delight. Hold on. It's a Halloween theme. Fright Delight by Lindsay Wilkes of the Cottage Mama for Riley Blake. There you go. Hard to see. Little bitty words right there. So, too fun. This is really nice. So, you can get a little start on a Halloween project. That would be fun, right? Okay. All my Texas girls are in the house. Yeah. You guys are so helpful to each other. You guys are so helpful to each other. You're like, oh, you forgot to put the hashtag. Yeah, you guys got to be sure to do that. Okay. Hashtag power tools. So let me double check and make sure the little giveaway tool is working. Entries already 264. That's awesome. Good. Okay. A little sip of coffee, please. So my friend who I'm making the t-shirt quilt for, her husband passed last November. She went through some of his old Harley Davidson shirts and brought them over, and I've been dragging my feet on getting this thing done, but now I'm in the home stretch. So I definitely wanted it finished before we left on our trip. Next week, we leave July 2nd, and July 3rd is our, what year is this? 24th wedding anniversary. Wow. I love it. Southern Vermont reporting in. Awesome. Love it. Let me show you how far I got yesterday on the t-shirt quilt. Oh, before we do that, follow up. Here's my block from yesterday for Autumn Love. Didn't that turn out just so pretty? So pretty. Oh my goodness. I just love it. Adorable. I'm going to trim it down to 5. I'm thinking I might make my other blocks like 5 1/8 instead of 5 like I did yesterday. I'll resize them to 5 1/8 just to give me a little more, room to stitch next to that seam. You won't see the difference at all. Maybe 5 1/16 or something. I'll figure it out. Anyway, okay. You like that Frito door? I made that just by covering, it's not poster board, it's that thicker stuff, foam board, kind of with fabric and hot glue, and made that up. Thank you. Yeah. Okay. So here's the t-shirt quilt so far. Pretty happy with it. Dana saw it last night, my friend. She saw it last night and loved it. So here we go. Okay. Let me get back here where you guys can you see it? You can. Okay. There we go. So there's the t-shirt quilt. and very simple to do. If you're going to make one of these just like this is the easiest way, in my opinion, other than just sewing t-shirts straight together without any kind of sashing. But just whatever size you cut the t-shirt blocks to, cut your sashing the exact same size. So like these blocks are 15, and all of my sashing was 15 by 2.5. Okay. And then the cornerstones are all 2.5 square. And then my outer border is 4.5. That's just easy, easy, easy. Okay. You sew the vertical sashing first to the sides, to the sides of the shirts, outside, middle, 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 outside for the 3 shirts. Easy. And then the horizontal sashing that goes in between the rows, you sew those together in one row, one whole long strip, and then sew those in once you get that done. So yeah, the sashing equalizes everything. That's right. That's a good way to put that. Thank you. I'm very pleased with it. You know, it's one of those things, if I just put my mind to it, I can get it done in less than a day, really. So I just kind of broke it up, and it's one of those things. I just waited till the last minute. Now, I'm not even going to give it to her before we leave. I don't know if I'm going to see her again before we leave. She's in the process of packing up to move to a new house because they lived on 4.5 acres, and it's way too much for her to manage by herself. So she and her youngest daughter are moving in together with a grandson. And so they're in the process of relocating not too far. And, you know, it's just one more thing for her to have to manage. So I'll just keep it here until we get back and give it to her. But I would like to get it on the long arm today or tomorrow and get it finished. I might not get it bound, but I'll get it done. So, well, so 100 proof quilter, you need to get to work on mine, she says, but they're racing shirts from when you were a runner. So the material's different than normal t-shirts. You know, I did those running shirts for my brother-in-law. He ran all of the rock and roll marathon. I think it was like 2017, 2018, something like that. 2017, I think I saw. That's when I made that shirt. And so he had some cute ones too. It had a footprint on the front and a footprint on the back. It was really cute. Looked like a tennis shoe footprint. So I cut those out and sewed them together to make one block look like a pair of feet. That was really cute. Again, stabilize those before you cut them. You know, stabilize them. I used Pellon's 911F, very lightweight, single-sided fusible, and that worked just great. I did it exactly like this one. No pattern, just exactly like this one, just making sure that all the blocks were the same size. He was happy with it. So let me see here. Another question. When I do the quilting, Deborah wants to know, do I quilt over the design of the shirt or do you go around it? I'm going to have to, you have to quilt over the shirt. My very first, let's see, before I had a long arm, I had a long armor go around the shirts and they got all puffy in the middle and it looked terrible. So I had her go back and put the quilt back on the long arm, and then she quilted in the shirts. You have to do that. Yeah, else it looks terrible. So there's no getting around it. Okay. All right. So this quilt ended up being 68 long and it's 60 wide on both sides. It's square. Yay. Well, it's going to be rectangle, but anyway, both of the long ends or short ends, top and bottom are the same. They are 60. So I need to make up some 60-inch borders and sew those on. So that's what I'm going to do right now. And if you never made borders, super simple. And I'm going to show you how to do it. So I have, with the fabric, I cut 2 pieces, okay, for both ends. They're 42 and I only need 60. So I'm going to show you how I put these together and then trim them up to be 60. It's pretty simple. All right. Is the Solaris 3 the same as the Luminaire? Right. That's a good question. Let's see. Michelle wants to know. Are you fixing to buy one of those, Michelle? Yeah, a large meander is a perfect, I was thinking about that. A large meander is a perfect all over quilting for this. And I probably, you guys, that's going by so fast. Oh my goodness. I can't even hardly keep up with who said what. Yeah, it is. They are the same thing. So the Solaris and the Luminaire are identical machines, different manufacturers, one brother, one baby lock, different brains, identical machine with the exception of the color of the case. Okay. For the most part, but they are identical machines. They're made in the same factory. Okay. So, and brother puts out, so they all came out with the base model, which the Luminaire XP1, Solaris, same. And then brother did XP2, XP3, and all it was an update to the brain. It wasn't anything different. So I don't know what Baby Lock did with theirs because I don't own a Baby Lock, so I don't know how they do that. But if they came out with updates for it and they had to be installed, you can check on the, like mine, it has a kit 1, kit 2, kit 3 are grayed out on the screen. So I know that all 3 were purchased and installed on that machine. Okay. Oh, all right. You guys want to see my pool? I'll show you a little thing real quick before we get started. Let's see. Let me share a screen. And I wonder if it'll let me, hold on a second. I want to present in video file. That's what I want to do. Oh, I didn't download that. Hold on. I'll just share the screen because it's on my, there we are. All right, here we go. Look.
It's so pretty. Oh my goodness. It's perfect. I love it.
Isn't that cool? That was awesome. I love that pool. I love it. Went into our 401k because we're not going to live forever. So I want to enjoy it now. So I went in and took care of that. If anybody is in my local area, San Antonio, Texas, local area, Reynolds Pools built that for us. And they own the Vernia Pool and Spa down at here in my town. And that's where we've gotten our chemicals and everything for years on our above ground pool. So Bobby Reynolds owns the company, and he has the side is Reynolds Pools. So they're the ones who installed it. Fantastic, absolutely fantastic. Responsive to all of our questions and text messages and letting us know when crews were going to be there, what the next steps were. We paid, you know, we got the total, and then they give us an invoice and tells us exactly when to expect the next checks due and pay out. Fantastic. They're doing chemicals for the first 4 weeks for us. There's somebody coming over every day for the first 7 days to make sure the pool is perfect. And just it's working great. I'm so happy about that. So fantastic customer service. Love it. Reynolds Pools. So not sponsored. I'm just telling you guys, they work Bernie, Bulverde, San Antonio, Lavernia, Elmendorf, all those areas, Seguin. So you guys, just want to let you know. Okay. Very happy. Highly, highly recommend, and very competitive pricing. Very. Okie doke. So let's go ahead and stitch these together. I have these 2 and these 2 for top and bottom of the quilt. Let me switch my cameras here. All righty. And I'm going to turn this around so I can see what you guys are doing. Yes, excellent after sales service. They really are very, very happy with that. Okay, new quilters. This is a little easy way for you to be able to create a border. So the border goes around the outside. That's just the terminology. The sashing, which actually borders the inner blocks, the sashing it goes in the middle. So that's the difference between sashing and a border. Sashing in the middle sashes the blocks, and a border goes around the outside. So I'm going to take one border piece face up, and I've got selvage on the end here. One border piece face up, and the other border piece face down, and I'm going to put it perpendicular to the one that it's at. If you want to draw a line, so now I would draw a line diagonally from the top to the bottom. And so from this V to this V, I call it a V because it looks like a V if you turn it like that. So that's the way I'm going to sew it. All right. I hope you can see this camera. That's how it's going to go. So I just make sure they're perpendicular. Okay. Now I have diagonal seam tape on the bed of my machine. So I'm going to keep this bottom V right here, right. So it's traveling up the middle of the diagonal seam tape. I have a video showing you how to install that. Right up the middle of the diagonal seam tape on the red line, which is the center. Okay. Turn that on. That helps. Yes. Put that there. Put this here. And just make sure the V is on the red line there. And I'm going to go. There's the first one. Okay. Now you can cut and measure with a rotary cutter if you want. I don't want because I'm lazy, so I'm just gonna use a pair of shears, and I'm gonna cut this off right about 1/4 of an inch away, approximately from the seam. So there's one. Okay. Put that there. I do them separately. Set that right there. Where's my trash can? Where did that go? Made it. All right. And then the other two. So I ended up cutting four sets of the border fabric, 2 each for all 4 sides, with it being 68 and 60. Okay. And one more time. You can sew them all together and measure off if you want. I don't, it doesn't bother me to do this. Okay. All right, you guys, one more time, or I'll tell you. Today's giveaway is a mini, for lack of a better term, a jelly roll, but this is Fright Delight for Riley Blake fabric. So get yourself going on a little Halloween project. US shipping only, please. Do you guys need a video on how to download those new Autumn Love files and get them useful on your computer or put them on the USB? I'm getting a lot of questions, and it might be easier to just do a video and show you how to do that. I don't know. So, okay. So I've got my diagonal seamed border now. I need to press this. So I'm going to go to the other camera. Let's go over to the ironing board. Yes. Okay. Yes. Yes. All right. Video would be helpful. Okay. Yeah, we'll do something. I don't know if we'll be on the live or what. All right. Yeah, I've been getting a lot of email, and I thought, oh my goodness, that some folks still are kind of freezing up about how to unzip a file and now what do I do with them? Yeah. Okay. All right. So I'm going to turn you guys around here a little bit. And well, maybe I can just do this here on this other camera and let y'all, let me see if that'll work. And it does. Good, good, good. Okay, there we go. Let's go back over here. So that my highly scorched ironing board. So now all I'm going to do is just press out the crease. This is the bolt fold right here. And I still need to change this ironing board cover. I've got the fabric down below. I just haven't done it. I should have known better than to use a light colored fabric on my ironing board. Okay. I'm going to clapper out the seam nice and flat and pretty. And then press out that other bolt fold crease. Okay. No starch. So there's one. And let me do the other. Typical sewing room, huh? Hey, Kimber Bell reached out yesterday. They've got some super cute stuff coming for the fall and winter. And I told them I would be happy to do a sew along with you guys. So keep an eye out for that. Just press this flat. Here's my seam. Let's see here. Let's see. In video, include what stabilizer I'm using and sizes of the quilt sandwiches, etc. Okay. Well, I'm doing it just for which video are you talking about for that? Okay. So all done here. These are pressed. So now I need to trim this up. Both of them. I need to trim them up. Let me get you turned. You can see what I'm doing. All right. They need to be 60. I figured I'd just do this with you guys, and that way I know it'll get done. So I'm just going to fold this in half. This is how I do this. I know you guys. Some of y'all are going to say, it's a waste of fabric. It's fine. Gives me scraps. I use scraps all the time. So I'm just folding it in half with the selvage edges together. I'm going to put it even on a line on my mat. This is the Quilter Select mat. I got it at the Fat Quarter Shop, and you can find a link for it below the video in the section called Around My Sewing Room. Okay. So this is even here. I've got the fold on the 0 line there. And I'm just going to cut this at 30. All right. Make sure my ruler is straight on my fabric and straight on the lines on the mat, and that's good. Cut it at 30. You always want to trim your borders to the size of the quilt, not just start sewing and let your don't just start sewing and then trim it when you're done. Don't do that, because then you won't have a square quilt. You want your quilt top to fit the right size. So, okay. One more here. Both of these are 60, both sides, top and bottom. I say sides, I mean top and bottom. Put that there. All right. And on 30. Okay. Alrighty. So now I'm going to pin this on. Where'd my pins go? Excuse me. Okay. I'll be so happy to have this done. Y'all, this has just been hanging over my head. Ugh. I didn't tell Dana. That's the secret between you and I. She doesn't watch my videos. She doesn't know anything about sewing or quilting. She just smiles politely and nods her head when I talk to her about what I do. Okay. So I'm going to pin, make sure this is even down here. Pin it at the top and pin it at the bottom. So it matches exactly. And then work from the center out with my pins to make sure that everything stays nice and square and even. And so I will pin, let me pull this up so it's even on the top right there. I pin on the cornerstones and then half again in the middle of the block, and that seems to work well for me. Make sure it's nice and flat and even. You can pin on the seam allowances if you want in your cornerstones to make sure that they don't get folded the wrong direction as it goes under the presser foot. Oh, here we go. I got pins right here. If you're ever making one of these and you're sewing your sashing, when you sew your sashing on these t-shirt quilts, sew with the quilting cotton side on the down. The quilting cotton is that right? Yes. The quilting cotton is stable because it's a weave, okay? And the t-shirt is a knit. Even though you've stabilized it, I started sewing with the t-shirt on the bottom and the strip on top and doing that, and I got bubbles and it didn't work out right. So I had to unpick that and then go back and sew with the quilting cotton against the feed dogs, and it worked out fine. Just fine. Yeah, it was a mess the other way. So that's just a little tip. You'll figure that out when you're making one, and then you go, oh yeah, Becky said, oh, that's right. That's why she said that. Let's see. Okay, all done. Let's get this sewn on. Now this one I can sew with the border on top because what's under it is also quilting cotton. But on t-shirt quilts, I do not recommend sewing with t-shirt down at all. Check, check, check. No sound. There we go. Okay. I don't know what happened. That's weird. Oh, I got sound now. Yeah. But I'm using the microphone from the MacBook. My microphone, I don't know what happened. That's weird. Sorry, y'all. Heck, gremlins on a Friday, no less. All right. We're back. Yay, sound. Okay. Which is really weird because the camera part of my managing the audio, the box that manages camera and audio is working. The camera part, the visual part, the sound part, for some reason, was not. All right, we're back to sound. Good. I need to sew this. Hey, hashtag power tools for the giveaway. Got a little mini jelly roll for you guys. It's not a jelly roll. It's 2.5-inch strip roll. This is Fright Delight. I can't see. I don't remember. By Lindsay Wilkes of the Cottage Mama for Riley Blake. Cute little Halloween. You could probably make some little table toppers with this or something. Placemats. Super cute. You don't hear anything. Yeah. Technology is great when it works, right? That's so strange. I don't know why that did that. Yeah, you can hear me. Okay. Some are saying they can, and some are saying that, and I don't know if the comment is a delay. Okay. Nothing. Some hear me, some don't. The sound is fine. Thank you, Judy. All right. I'll just sit here and talk to myself. Y'all can watch my lips. I wonder how much bobbin I have left. Hear me, hear me. Good, good, good. All right, you guys. Well, you're hearing me from the microphone on the MacBook, not the microphone I had on my neck. I don't know what happened to that. I have to play with that and figure out what happened. I do a back stitch on the borders. I always do. That just makes sure we don't get any little pieces coming undone when it's time to put it on the long arm. Don't want any holes, right? Okay. Okay, good. You lost it, Bob and Chicken, yesterday, Sally? Yeah. I did it the other day on the long arm. I won. I finished a row and then didn't check it and went to start another roll with no bobbin. Had I checked, I'd have had myself a little party that I won at Bob and Chicken. Does that count? Oh, I'll be so happy to have this finished, you guys. Oh my goodness. So where I live, our ground is complete sand, total sand. I have no soil whatsoever. Did I zigzag the outside of the quilt before I long arm? No, I don't do that. I mean, if it's going to get a lot of manhandling, I would zigzag it, but I don't. Before I quilt these, I treat them with care so that they don't fray. Let me move my coffee. You guys got big plans for the weekend? We're hanging out in the pool. Actually, I'm doing a lot of stuff in here as usual. I tell my husband before I come in here every morning, okay, I got to go to work. I love it. Gives me a reason to get out of bed. Let's see here. The pool is fantastic. Where did I buy all the embroidery thread from? So whenever I'm in a store that has it, I will usually grab the essentials, black, white, that kind of thing. But all of my glide thread, I just bought from Austin Sewing and Quilting, or Quilting and Sewing, up near Round Rock. That's where I got all that. My old quilt store, Scrappy Quilter, used to have Thread Tuesday where you could buy 2 or 3 spools and get one half off. So I used to build up my thread stash that way too. Oh my gosh, Cynthia, hosting a family reunion for 50 people. Good grief, you're going to be busy. All righty. Yeah, we leave Wednesday, and we have a friend that's staying at the house, which I'm very happy about, while we're gone. So he's in the middle of having a house built. So his house won't be ready until September. So he's going to stay here the whole time while we're gone, which I'm very grateful for. But, whoop, I forgot to backstitch. Can I do that yet? There we go. Yeah, so probably yard work. Yeah. I had to reach out to the guy who put in our sprinkler system because now my whole backyard is nothing but sand. And we've got to get some, absolutely have to get some grass down, or the sand's just going to totally blow in the pool. It'll be a hot mess. All right. Let me see here. I need to change my cameras again. And I hope you guys can continue to hear me. I got to put this other. Whoa. Boy, it's dark over there, huh? Let's see if I can do some light on this side. Is that better? That's a little better. Yeah. All righty. There. So we need to definitely get grass down. So that's going to be the next expense, is getting landscaping. And I'm not a big flower girl plant. I have a perennial brown thumb. So I like plants that don't require any kind of intervention from me. Those are the best kind for me. Loud and clear. Good. So yeah, Frito's very busy over there guarding the door. So, but that's going to be the next thing, is to get that done. We had to put, I don't know if you noticed it in the video, had to put a little retaining wall up against the back of the pool to keep the sand from falling in the pool. Don't need that. Let's see where we at. 15 more minutes. I should have this finished. That'll be good. Did I make my cutting table? My husband did, Phil. Yes. Sure did. customized for me and my height, because I'm almost 5'9". All right. Get this laid out just nice and flat, even. You guys, if you are putting on borders and you have to pull it up a little bit, you have to pull the quilt up to make the border because the quilt's a little short or big or whatever. Sew it with bigger on bottom, okay? That way the feed dogs will do you a favor and ease in that extra fabric. So whichever side is bigger, sew that one on the bottom against the feed dogs. That's a garment sewing trick. When you're easing in sleeves. Been there, done that many times. Bigger on bottom. Okay. Use native plants. So we have lots of sago bushes, sago palms, and there's a lot of local flowering plants like esperanzas, the big yellow flower bushes. Those do really nice. Betty Boot gave me some calla lilies. They're out front and they bloom beautifully. You cannot kill those things. They're like weeds. So I like those. All right. There's the next one. Let me go to the sewing machine. Bring you guys back around with me. This is just working today, guys. Just working. This is how the sausage is made, right? The tedium. Borders to me and sashing are the most boring part of quilting. Baggy bottoms was a nickname when you were a kid. Michelle, it's hilarious. I love it. You guys, hey, give the video a thumbs up if you wouldn't mind. I'd appreciate it very much. If you're watching on your TV, please grab that TV remote and hit the channel up button. It does the same thing, and subscribe so you know when I put a video out. I've got a video that's almost finished editing for how to prep and color set the red fabric on the Christmas tree. Quilted Christmas tree we're going to start that July 14th. Yeah, July 14th, okay? And I don't know if, because you guys bought out all the kits from Two Chicks Quilting, I don't know if they're going to have more or not. I need to check, because those are usually that fabric are their standard pieces of fabric that they had in their shop. It's not like they had a special order or anything. So I'll check with them and see if they've got more. Okay. All righty. What are we doing for the Christmas tree skirt? Oh, Donna, I did Juju's Christmas tree skirt a couple of years ago, her original one. This is a Christmas tree quilt, not a skirt. It's called the Quilted Christmas Tree. I've got a link to the pattern. It was supposed to be a stash buster. You had a lot of reds and greens you wanted to use up. You can make it out of anything, really. But it's just putting 5-inch squares together. So we're going to do that. That's an easy one to put together in the motorhome. So I'll do a video on how to get that fabric treated so the reds don't bleed. Just my process. They came out great. Ah, something fell. Ruler. And then get them cut. Get all that cut. All righty. Y'all, I've got a feeling like I'm playing bobbin chicken. Thank you, Jackie. They do. They provide stellar customer service. They really do. So some of the kits for Autumn Love are coming in with different border fabric than the picture. Let me tell you what happened with that. They had ordered 10 bolts of that border fabric to come in. Everything that they had, okay, after the initial purchase was done, the pre-order. So if you pre-ordered really early, you got the same fabric as the picture. If you ordered later, what happened was UPS lost a box of 10 bolts of that border fabric. And Riley Blake went to them and said, what happened? Where did it disappear to? They have no idea. UPS just lost it. So Riley Blake worked with two chicks to come up with different border fabric. It's still going to be adorable, you guys. But that original border fabric disappeared into UPS's thin air. Riley Blake, they had to get all their money back. It was terrible. I mean, I know they insured it and all that, but still, ugh. That doesn't do anybody any good when the original fabric's gone, right? It's terrible. You know, and then two chicks feels bad. All right, you guys, this is the final go. This is it. Final seam on this quilt top. And we're done. Yay! It's finished. I need to press it out, but I'm done sewing. Let's see how close we were on the bobbin. Ah, no problem. Gee, I still had almost half. How about that? Excellent. Let's black. I don't need it. Put white back in there. Awesome. Awesome. Oh, my goodness. Hey, Genevieve, you've misspelled power tools, my friend. So what design will I quilt the t-shirt quilt with? I don't know. Let me turn this camera around. Let me use another one. Hold on. I'm going to sit here and face you guys. There we go. There we go. Okay. I don't know what I'm going to use. I'm going to look around a little bit on Urban Elements and I'll figure out what design I'm going to use. If I can't figure it out, then I'll just use a stipple, a large loopy stipple. You know, I don't want anything too tight. You don't really want to use a super tight design on knits because they'll get little bubbles. You've got to give the fabric somewhere to relax, even though it's got stabilizer on the back of it. So let's see. Okay, we got lots of power tools still. US shipping only, please, you guys. 981. Let's get 981 thumbs up, please. I'd appreciate that. Do I have a video for adding sew tights to the leaders? Yes, Gloria, I do. Absolutely. Let's see. You will save, Sandy says she'll save $280 doing snap-applique over choosing the block of the month. Oh, yeah, you sure will. Yeah. If you, once you get snap-applique under your belt, there's no need to, oh, you're welcome, Kathy. Thank you. She bought Enthusiast from my link. I appreciate that very much. So I need to install a mesh router in the house too, because the router for Starlink is over here in my sewing room, and the equipment for the pool is on the other side of the house, the other end, and we can manage the pool with our phones. So on the Wi-Fi, I think. Yeah. So there's an app and it works and all that. So I had a Wi-Fi extender. It was an old Netgear, and I brought it home from the coast and tried to hook it up. It didn't want to work. So I went ahead and bought a new mesh router. So Would I spray the back of the top to help hold it when quilting on the long arm? No, I don't think so, Pearl. No, I've never done that. Are there any Snapplique classes in the West Phoenix area? Julianne, I think I'm going to be coming out and doing one at Mo Queens in November, I think, where I get my pants. So you guys, I love these pants. They're so comfortable. They're elastic waist. Yay. Super comfortable. I got them on Amazon, and they're in my tech and home section on Amazon, my store. It's amazon.com/shop/power tools with thread. What is a mesh router, Elizabeth? So it's like a router, but like the router that you have where your internet plugs into your router. Okay. Your internet from the internet company comes in and plugs into that box, and that's your router for your whole house. So what a mesh router is it thinks it's a router, but it's not. And you can put it a long ways away. This one up to 2,200 feet. It covers 2,200 feet that I'm getting. And I only buy Netgear. Don't buy the junky ones. Get them from Netgear. So it thinks it's a router. And what it does is it expands the your home network. It expands your home network. So it's really cool. It's like a Wi-Fi extender on steroids. Yeah, Donna has, is it a Wi-Fi extender? Yeah, it just has higher, more technology in it. So it thinks it's a router, and it's a smoother transition for everything. And if you're going to get one, I need to add the one that I just bought into my tech and home. Make sure you get one that's called, it says dual band. Dual band will make sure that your, Teresa, my teaching schedule is on my blog under education and travel. Now I done lost my train of thought on that. Yeah, so make sure it has dual band, because some scan and cuts, most scan and cuts won't work with the 5 gigahertz band. You need the 2.4. They like the lower band. Okay. So yeah, it just makes everything work seamlessly in your house. They're very, very handy. If you ever, I will add it to my list, Camilla. Y'all, Amazon Prime Days is coming. So I will add it to the list so you guys can see what I'm getting. I only buy tech for my home that comply with the Made in USA. You have both 2.4 and 5, right? So some routers don't let you see the 2.4. Spectrum doesn't like to let you see that, so you can't connect to it. And that's why you just want to make sure you have. So if you have a router in your home that doesn't let you connect your scan and cut to it, if you buy a Wi-Fi extender or a mesh router, you can put that on, and then you can see that 2.4 gigahertz band, and you can connect to that. There is a plan for me to go to Michigan. I haven't answered them back. I need to do that. They invited me, and I'd love to do that in 2026. So Donna says, agree, only buy US made technology. There is a Made in USA Act. It's a law. And there are companies that comply with that, the Made in the USA Act, even though they're technically built in Taiwan or Japan or wherever, but they have to comply with that. And that's the type that I buy. So Netgear is one of those. Very, very good routers. And they are secure. You know, I don't feel like somebody's going to be spying on all my traffic. They might be, but who knows? They're not supposed to be. Yeah. You have Starlink. Do you need a mesh router too? So Diane, you only really need a mesh router if you're having trouble connecting. If you have a ginormous house, right? Or maybe an upstairs, downstairs, and your connectivity is iffy, in some spots of your home, you can get a mesh router, and it was $79, y'all. It was dirt cheap. So you can buy a mesh router, and that will expand your network. The mesh router makes it think that you have a router upstairs, right? Or on the other end of your house. So yeah, well, Paula says, our son contracts for the Air Force and is required to buy a US router. So Paula, I used to work in the Air Force cybersecurity at the Air Force Personnel Center, and that's where I learned that. So yeah. Is Starlink cheaper than Spectrum? My home Starlink is $120 a month. Worth every penny. Worth every penny. I love it. And you guys, if you're going to buy Starlink, let me hit stop. If you're going to buy Starlink, get it from starlink.com. If you want to get it, I can give you a referral link. I'd appreciate that very much. Gives me a free month. So I would love that. If you want to do that, just email me powertoolswiththread@outlook.com, and I'll be happy to give you the link. I don't recommend buying from a third party like Amazon or anything like that, because you want to get great service, follow-up service from Starlink. Not so much if you buy it aftermarket. So, all right, you guys, it's time for the giveaway. Last call for the mini jelly roll. It's not a jelly roll. Where'd it go? Mini roll of 2.5-inch strips. Here it is. Little Halloween. Hashtag Power Tools, US shipping only. Yeah, I love my Starlink. Oh my gosh. It's the greatest thing. All right, you guys. So let's check the giveaway tools. 775 entries. Let's do it now. Share screen, giveaway tool, and ready, set, go. Let's see. No, your Starlink does not have to be professionally installed on your RV. We have it. Jolene Francis, yay! Congratulations, Jolene. That's wonderful. That's fantastic. Send me an email, powertoolswiththread@outlook.com, and tell me where you want me to mail this to you. I'll be happy to do that for you. Congratulations. That's wonderful. Okay, you guys. So Jolene Francis, congratulations. Let me stop sharing that. All right. Thank you so much for spending your time with me. Thank you for making me finish this t-shirt quilt. It is done and ready for the long arm. I'm so happy. Oh, I still need to do the backing. I'll probably do that this afternoon. All right. We will talk to you soon. You guys have an amazing weekend. Please give me a thumbs up. Appreciate that. We'll talk to you soon. Y'all go sew something. Bye.